Will you make me the happiest man in the world? Hope Logan? Will you marry me? Say yes, Hope. We belong together. Please say you'll marry me. Say it.
Thomas, what were you thinking? I think Hope's face says it all. Hi, friends. Welcome to another bold and beautiful recap and review. And today's show was a doozy. We had this proposal from Thomas out of left field, and they dug way back in the archives and brought back a controversial character. Well, not really a controversial character. Xander is not controversial, but the plot line that they're bringing back up is because fans have been arguing ever since Emma's accident on who really caused it. Let's get into it. So this episode started where we left off yesterday with Finn breaking up the argument between Steffi and Thomas and letting Thomas know that he would not accept him talking to his wife in that way. He gets a call to leave to see his new patient, and Steffi and Thomas continue their conversation where she's worried that he's getting in over his head with Hope. Thomas says this has been the best few months of his life, and he knows that Hope loves him even though she hasn't said it outright. Steffi continues to warn him of how dangerous his obsession with Hope is, but he continues to say that he's fine and he has it under control. And with him springing this proposal on Hope when she hasn't even said that she loves him, clearly he does not have it under control.
It wasn't an accident, Zoe. I can't stop thinking about it.
We should be thinking about Emma and her family, not what you think Thomas might have done.
Hey, you can't stop me. Go. But if you tell anyone about this...
What are you gonna do, huh? You gonna kill me like you killed Emma? You gonna kill Zoe?
Okay, so to bring Finn into this storyline, they had Xander come back on scene and be a patient of Finn's. Now, we've known for a while that Finn hasn't really felt it for Thomas. He goes back and forth with tolerating him because of Steffi, but he definitely says little things here and there to let you know that he doesn't really see it for Thomas. And that was the whole point of the altercation earlier in the episode, to let you know that Finn still does not think very highly of Thomas. Now, they did a lot of flashbacks in this episode as Xander told Finn the story of how he knows the Forresters and how he knows Thomas to remind us of that storyline with the baby Beth kidnapping. Now, Thomas was not the one that initially kidnapped Beth, but he found out about it and he didn't tell anybody. He wanted to stay a secret so that he could progress his relationship with Hope. Emma, who had the accident, comes into play because she found out about the secret, confronted Thomas, and was on her way to tell Hope that Beth was alive. Thomas followed her down a very dark and windy road off of a cliff, which had her driving erratically. Now, this is where the fan wars come in that's been going on since this storyline played out. It does appear that Xander still believes that Thomas was at fault for the accident. The way it played out on scene, she was worried about Thomas following her closely. She took out her phone and went to text someone. We don't know who she was texting, maybe Hope. While texting, glanced up into her rearview mirror to see how closely Thomas was still following her, lost control of the car, went over the cliff. Now, interestingly enough, in this playback of the clip, they did not show Thomas standing over her accident site and not going for help. And that's part of what fuels the fan wars. Some people say it was her fault because she was texting and driving. Other people say it was Thomas's fault because he was following her so closely, had her scared, and did not even bother to get her help once he saw her over the cliff. He stood there and just looked at her car. So it was an interesting storyline when it played out a few years ago. I may do a poll to see which side each of you fall on, to see what you all are thinking. But drop down in the comments and let me know. How did you feel when this storyline played out? Did you feel Thomas was at fault, or did you feel Emma was at fault? But now we have Finn being brought into this whole situation, and the episode ended with Xander telling Finn that Thomas has no conscience and is guilty of murder. We also had Hope trying to go to Ridge to get Steffi to back off, but Ridge had the same question Steffi had and wanted to know if Hope loved Thomas. Of course, she did not give an answer and told him that that is between her and Thomas. So the fact that Hope is unwilling to answer this question makes me think this is not going to go well with Thomas springing this proposal on her. So let me know your thoughts on today's episode. There was a lot going on. Please give me all your thoughts. I want to read your comments. Do you think the Emma storyline, bringing that back up, is a way to get Liam back in the picture? Because that's been his whole thing the whole time, that how could Hope be with Thomas after what he did to them with Beth? So it will be interesting to see if they bring him back on the scene for this and what his thoughts are. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one.